What's up everyone, it's Edwin, and today we're going to be talking about a popular tattoo artist, Romeo Lacoste, and some of the very serious things he's been accused of. So from his website, we learned that Romeo Lacoste is a world-famous tattoo artist with an equally prestigious clientele. He currently leads a team of world-class artists at the California Dream Tattoo Shop, which he owns and operates. And if you go on his clientele tab, you'll see just a few of his high-profile clients. He's done work on Justin Bieber, Ariana Grande, Kendrick Lamar, and even the most popular Twitch streamer, Ninja. He also recently facilitated and allowed James Charles to tattoo his younger brother, who was 16 at the time, in his shop. Sisters, did you make an oopsie? Because according to California Penal Code 653, you might just be guilty of a misdemeanor.
How did I convince you to even do this today?
All I know is I love tattoos and I want to get more. And it's pretty good for views, so...
Yeah, kinda true.
But today's story is actually a lot bigger than Romeo risking losing his tattoo license for views. Romeo Lacoste has been accused of sending inappropriate messages to underage fans. The allegations came from a Twitter account, seemingly created for the purpose of anonymously exposing Romeo. Now I understand there's always doubt and speculation surrounding allegations, especially when they're anonymous. However, this Twitter account came through with not just screenshots of their conversations with Romeo, but also screen recordings to further prove the validity of the conversations. Let's start from the top. A few years ago, my friends and I made a group chat called Romeo's Fruit Cups. One of the girls and I talked more than the others and realized how Romeo would talk to us, and it seemed off. I was 15 and she was 14 at the time. We came up with a plan to see if our gut feelings was just us overreacting. We decided to make a separate Romeo account from our main to do everything. We both decided what to say to him, and at times we didn't even have to say much for him to act the way he did. Romeo knew I was underage, yet still talked inappropriately. The conversation she posted started out like this: "I'm still a Romeo account, I never left. Promise?" 3 heart eyes emojis. "Why you have so many accounts, LMAO? I can't keep up." So I'm assuming this is when the girl's plan started, being that she created a fan account to see if Romeo would act up. Straight after, he sends a picture of himself in Mickey Mouse and says, "Look." Now you might be asking yourself, why would he randomly send a picture of himself in Mickey Mouse? That's about to be real clear in just a minute. The girl explained that she only has 2 accounts, to which he says, "You have like 3, I thought I lost you. You're my fave, remember? I don't DM or reply to anyone else." Well, hardly. And then he repeated, "You're my fave, I really don't talk to anyone else." To which the fan says, "Damn, really?" And then he says, "Yes, you're my fave fangirl, I told you." So the Mickey Mouse picture was a subtle way of making the fan feel special, of course preluding to the more explicit way in which he let the fan know that she was his favorite fan. I believe this is the tactic he used to make her feel like she could trust him, sending her a personal picture and then calling her his favorite. And of course, him knowing that she's a fan and that she looks up to him, that definitely works in his favor. I mean, it really is perplexing the amount of times he feels the need to emphasize that she's his fave. In the next conversation, Romeo is seen brainstorming future video ideas for his YouTube channel, and at the time, YouTube challenges were still fairly popular. The fans suggested trying out some drawing videos, and if the audience liked it, he could do more. Pretty sound advice. Then the conversation began to take a turn when he said, "Nice photo by the way, baby," and then said BTW with an asterisk, as to correct what? The word baby? Because he already typed BTW as in by the way, so what's he trying to correct? It almost feels like to me that he's playfully pretending that he didn't mean to say baby. Because last I checked, BTW doesn't autocorrect to baby. She says, "Oh my god, shut up, haha, I hate that picture so much." And this is when it escalates. He says, "Haha, what were you doing? Taking the D? Only when daddy hits you up." Actually, that face was funny. It's like you saw a small peen and wasn't impressed. She continues to simply say, "Ha ha ha ha," and Romeo went on to say, "I promise you, when I'm single, you're the first person I hit up. Trust me, haha, you're my fave. I want it." I wonder what he wants. 4 minutes go by, and instead of directly addressing anything he just said, she simply asks if he wants to be added back into the group chat. Homeboy really could have used those 4 minutes to think long and hard about what he had just said, especially considering the fact that the fan didn't even reciprocate his advances, but instead, it seems like he only thought long and hard, because he continued by asking her if it made her happy to know that she was the first girl that he would hit up over anyone else once he was single. The conversation so far is very manipulative, predatory, and displays an abuse of power, but it doesn't stop there. A couple days later, the fan is seen telling Romeo that she can't wait to see how his hair turns out and his progress of him working out. This is when he proceeds to send 2 shirtless photos. She flatters him, which, for whatever reason, leads him to feel confident enough to send her a picture of himself grabbing his bulge. What the fuck? He says, "Don't show that one to anyone. Haha, that's a good one." Another conversation from a couple weeks afterwards shows him saying, tell me how you try and be slutty." To which she says, "I'm better at showing than telling." And he goes, "I'm sure you can and will one day, but I like hearing. See, if it was me, I'd probably get you a little drunk first." No, hunty. This next message is a little unusual to say to anyone, let alone a fan, but here we go. He says, love that, love my balls massaged and sucked on, love my butthole licked, and my fave is when they put it in deep their throats. Drunk girls always put it in deeper. Haha. Okay, so quick side note, I'm trying to censor myself, and I hope you guys do the same in the comments. I know a lot of you guys are probably tempted to straight away call him the P word, but please try not to do that, because YouTube will automatically actually hold your comments when it's too inappropriate. And not only that, but if the comments are too inappropriate, they might suppress the video, and I think people need to see this stuff. Because spoiler alert, Romeo has confirmed that these messages are real, and we'll get to that later on in the video. Oh boy, yeah, he went on to say more pretty explicit messages. He says, you can even chase my stuff down with another shot. Or I'm freaky, I can even shoot into your shot and I'd let you drink both together. I do freaky stuff, haha. Yeah, no shit. Take another shot and then go for round 2. By the time you leave, you'll have a tummy full of my stuff and alcohol, haha. I bet you get pretty slutty when you're drunk. So obviously his plan is to get her drunk and get her to swallow his stuff. Jeez. I've only ever had one girl put it in all the way, like nothing, and 2 that got all the way down but struggled. Everyone else could barely get past halfway. Who talks like this? I mean, okay, this is a serious question to the commenters that are females. Have you actually encountered a man that talks like this? Like, not even with the power imbalance? Like, and again, I want you guys to consider the context. Like, forget the fact that she's a fan, right? Obviously, that's extremely inappropriate, even if she's not actually just 15. Even if she was, like, an adult. A fan, the power imbalance, extremely inappropriate. So I'm just asking if like you've ever met a guy and so soon after like talking to him for a couple weeks, this is how he talks to you. Now I don't want to sound too vanilla because I do get that this could be a kink, but the only scenario in which I could see this as being appropriate is if it were between 2 consenting adults. And considering he's talking to someone that's not an adult, there's not really much consent to be had, is there? The conversation continues and it shows him saying, you're not down to do it sooner or you want to wait till you're 18. Now this is the smoking gun that made me decide to do this video because it shows him acknowledging the fact that she was a minor. And you know, anonymous allegations are hard to judge from, no doubt. But this is a screen recording and it shows him abusing his power as a person with a lot of followers, you know, and talking to a fan in this way. But not only that, curious to see if she would be interested in hooking up with him before she became an adult. She says, haha, I am down to do it sooner, just didn't know if you wanted me to wait till I was 18. To which she says, if you had to wait that long, you'd still be down? Haha, you don't think you'd be over it by then? Or tired of waiting? Haha. This is so gross. It sounds like he doesn't want to wait and he's anxious to do something while she's still a minor. Almost as if he's trying to make her feel bad for not immediately agreeing or being as excited as he is. He goes on to say, I am a lot older than you though, smiley face. She says, trust me, I'd still be down to do it, and I don't mind as long as you don't, haha. He then says, you'd probably think that's hot. Now, as if this could not get any more gross, this dude actually had a girlfriend at the time, who he's actually still dating, or at least was before this whole incident broke out. He told the fan, well, to be honest, me and Gigi argue a lot, and I don't know how much longer we'll be together, so you might not have much more time to practice, haha, and I don't mind at all. Romeo's saying that he doesn't mind hooking up with her while she's still underage, and then assuming that she would think it's hot, confirms that he must have some sort of sick fantasy of him being the older guy with a younger female. And how sad that he had a girlfriend at the time. Up until this controversy happened, I mean, I don't know if they're still together. It would be sad if they're still together, but I honestly don't recommend sending her or anybody else related to him any sort of hate, you know? This is his actions. Nobody else is guilty of what he's done. He says, you're gonna go to as many parties as possible, literally just trying to practice for me, lol. But keep everything we talk about between you and me, please. I haven't told anyone that, and I trust you, so don't repeat anything that we talk about. So if I told you, like, pretty soon to come over, how would you get here, and how long could you stay? Your parents wouldn't care? How long could you stay? Just curious. And then she goes, a couple hours, like 4 or 5, probably more. And then he says, that's pretty good, not bad. We can defo get a lot done and have some fun. She goes on to say that she hates being short, and he reassures her that he's always liked short girls and his girlfriend is the same height. She says, my guy best friend is as tall as you and I'm always having to look up. To which she says, get used to it. You'll be on your knees a lot anyways, looking up, haha. Then he asked for her number and she complied. Now, the girl did say that she changed her number and she no longer has access to the text messages where more stuff went on, but she's not also trying to like make any allegations based on that. So I think it's smart that she's sticking the allegations to what went on in the receipts that she provided. You've probably noticed that these conversations don't really show any interactions of the fan encouraging the behavior that Romeo was exhibiting, you know? And I mean, it could be argued that, well, some conversation was taken out of context to show that only he was being perverted and nothing was being said from the fan. Okay, but even if that was the case, which if it is very possible because the fan admitted that it was their plan to see if he would act up, but they didn't have to say too much, which I see the evidence. They definitely didn't have to say too much to get him going. But like, even in the case that that the fan did try to get him to say something, he was aware that they were underage and he had a girlfriend. This is disgusting on every level. He not only acknowledged that she was a minor, but he also made it clear that he wouldn't mind hooking up with her while she was still a minor. So I just felt like I needed to say all that before people in the comments start victim blaming. The allegations began receiving traction once Elijah Daniel quote tweeted it saying this. Oh, and something that I forgot to mention earlier is that as soon as people started catching wind of the allegation, Romeo immediately deactivated his Twitter and disabled comments on his Instagram. Another reason why I wanted to bring attention to the story was because when I first read the messages, I 100% could tell that they are very predatory, you know? And when I see people talk and behave this way towards others, it is 100% not the first time, or if it's the first time, it won't be the last time that they talk to others this way. And sure enough, this person coming out and their account gaining traction led to other people, quite a few other people, bringing their own stories about Romeo. And among one of those people was a girl who claimed to be his ex-girlfriend, whom he dated when he was 19 through 22 and she was 14 through 17. The links to everything will be in the description down below, and originally I was gonna end the video right about there, but last night I noticed that Keemstar said he was gonna have an interview with Romeo, so I wanted to kinda just wait it out so I could make sure to include the most important parts of the interview in this and just kinda give my thoughts to see what Romeo has to say for all this.
First, I want to say, dude, I was just watching your video. You're such an asshole, bro.
He really started off the interview with Keem by calling him an a-hole.
You were supposed to be reporting facts, not like fiction, you know, not like opinions and not like stuff that's not proven yet, you know. Like you're supposed to be a news channel where people go to like find out like cold hard facts.
Alright, no offense, but really? That's what you think of Keemstar's channel? You watch Keemstar for the news? The unbiased factual news? Okay. And right after that, he said that he thought it was kind of cool that at least Keemstar complimented his work.
I do appreciate you giving me credit for being such a boss-ass tattoo artist and tattooing everyone and being involved in the circle, so that's kind of cool.
Keemstar dead-on asked him multiple times about the allegations, and each time Romeo just somehow managed to dodge answering the question.
Are you guilty of these things?
I do.
Well, were you sexting with 14 and 15-year-old girls?
I just feel like when you don't know all the facts and people are kind of banding to get someone.
What facts are we missing? Did you send these messages to these girls, 14 and 15? Were you sexting with them?
You know, there's like no proof that any of these girls were that age.
The way he explains himself is by saying that he was a different person 3 years ago and that he was new to the fame and... okay, just listen to him say it.
I was new to like social media. I was new to like the fame. I was new to people giving me attention on social media and sort of like girls being flirty and throwing themselves at me. I made the mistake of turning to people on social media who were, you know, girls who were down to give me attention. And now that I honestly see it for what it is, it's all nothing but a fucking trap. Like, and 3 years ago, I was in a completely different mind state.
Romeo Lacoste really thought it was a good idea to do an interview in which his best defense is that he is a much different person than 3 years ago, but completely avoids taking accountability by saying that the girls are liars and they manipulated him.
I'm admitting that some of that stuff, yes, it's real, but I feel like a lot of it is being fabricated, photoshopped, and twisted to make it look like they're not flirting with me, they didn't reach out to me.
He also claimed that the particular girl who exposed all the conversations not only came on to him first.
These girls came on to me first.
Yeah, they're fangirls.
But he also claimed that she told him she was 17, about to turn 18.
Some of these girls, the one in particular that we're referring to, told me that she was almost 18 years old, which I understand is not, you know, that does not make the situation much better. And I didn't even realize that this girl, apparently this girl told me that she was 18, almost 19. This is in 2016, so from my knowledge, she's got to be like 21, 22 now at this point.
So I reached out to the girl and asked her if she was aware that he had said that, to which she says, if he had not deactivated his Twitter, I would go back and show more video proof, where he knew that I was 15 at the time. She showed me a screenshot of him wishing her a happy birthday because the group chat apparently was filled with fans saying happy 15th birthday to her. She also said that once he comes back to Twitter, she'll be able to screen record more proof showing him being aware of their ages.
This is why I feel like somewhat of a victim and somewhat like they trap, like these kids come on here trying to trap celebrities because they didn't tell me that. They told me 17, but then they're gonna cut off that comment. I was sort of taken advantage of in a sense because it's like I didn't have a whole lot of followers. They, reached out to me saying sexual stuff. They lied about.
Look, the girl that made the accusations has gone on record saying that if you reactivate your Twitter, she can probably get proof that you knew that she was 15. And you expect us to believe you with nothing?
All I want to say to defend myself is this. Look, you kind of know me a little bit. The Face guys knows me. And I'm not just trying to throw people under the bus. I am very well respected in this community. I've tattooed every YouTuber from across the fucking map all the way to, Kodak Black, rappers.
That's
Juice
true.
WRLD.
That's
Yeah.
true.
He also continuously victimized himself, saying that he has teenage sisters and that he treats his customers with the utmost respect.
I have 4 sisters. Like, I have sisters, and they're all between the ages of 12 and 16. And it's just like, I totally agree with you, bro. I totally agree with you. I am all for this, bro. Like, I really, 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 like, you can ask any customer who's ever came into my shop for the last 4 years. I treat them all with the utmost respect.
That has no relevance whatsoever, dude. Especially because to get a tattoo in California, I mean, I know you do some underage tattoos, but to legally get a tattoo in California, you have to be 18 or older. So hopefully most of your customers are 18 or older, which the girls that are accusing you of things were not. So if we're going by that logic, then your clientele doesn't exactly fit your age preference. He also said that he has deleted all of his DMs.
Before that, the girl tells me she's almost 18, right? So I was kind of like,
Do you have that proof?
No, I deleted all my stuff because I'm in a serious relationship with my girlfriend.
How convenient. And why? Because he's in a serious relationship now. Well, he's with the same girl that he was in 2016, so was it not serious then?
I understand what you said, what you're saying. It is gross. It is fucked up. I mean, if people want to do that between consensual people, shit, everyone's got a freaky side. You know what I mean? Like,
adults are fine, but I mean, these are kids.
Keemstar also brought up Romeo's ex-girlfriend who claimed that she dated him when she was 14 and he was 19. And this is what Romeo had to say.
I dated her back when I was like 19 years old.
And she was 14, right?
I don't believe that she was 14. I think she might have been late 15, possibly. This is me being extreme. She may have been late 15. I remember her being more like 17.
Okay, if this is how badly this dude's memory is, if he can't remember the age that he started dating a girl that he dated for 3 years, then I'm not sure I can trust that he remembers the age of a fan that he interacted with 3 years ago. The homie just really wants us to believe his word when he says stuff like, no, she's definitely not 14, maybe she was late 15, I remember her being 17. Bro, that's exactly what, I don't want to say the word, but you know what I'm thinking. That's exactly what that type of person would say. I didn't know they were just 14. Tell it to the cops.
These girls always look older than they really are, and then they lie about their age, and it's hard for people online to know.
A 14-year-old and a 15-year-old.
If you enjoyed the video, tap like, and Gigi, please have some self-respect and leave Romeo. But I do want to emphasize to please not look for Gigi in case she does, for whatever reason, decide to stay with Romeo. It's very possible that he could be manipulating her as well. I mean, if you listen to the interview, he's very blameless. He doesn't want to take accountability for anything. He just sees himself as innocent, like he was a different person then. It's just not fair. They're trying to get me. They're trying to... My next video is going to be covering the insane controversy surrounding the South African group Diane Wood. That stuff, you don't want to miss it, so make sure you're subscribed. And I also still got the Elon Musk, Grimes, Azealia Banks follow-up coming soon. God, I really need another Edwin here, or maybe somebody help me edit. Anybody here in Phoenix? Alright, thanks for watching, and make sure you hit the notification bell if you want to catch my next live stream, and I'll see you in a few days. Cheers.
I've admitted that some of it was real. I've admitted that some of it was fabricated, some of it
was anything actually fabricated, or are you just saying parts were cut out?
Parts were cut out. That's what I'm trying to say.
So it's not fabricated, it's not photoshopped.
It's not fabricated.
It's not photoshopped, it's not fabricated.
No, okay, like, yeah, I said some sexual stuff.